Now the next topic is values for ethical decision making. So values are nothing but what is a value? Okay, values are nothing but uh, what what you can give to the society, in the sense how valuable a person can be to the society, with his deeds, with his attitude, with his whatever he does, and how he can be someone who can be very useful to the society. So but here what we are seeing is values for ethical decision making. That means if you want to decide something, or if you want to be a decision maker, and of course you want to decide on something, that what you want to do in the future, or what task you are going to perform, and that decision, what you want should be ethical decision. So what kind of values you should have for taking that decision which involves ethics in that? Okay, see, morality, I already told you, morality is nothing but you will be studying about good, bad in morality. You will be studying about good, what is good and what is bad. But ethics is nothing but all good. When I speak that ethics, you are doing some task ethically, that means you are doing a task which has all the morality, like positive side of morality. That means all moral values, which are nothing but good values, honesty, integrity, everything. I'm speaking about that. So an ethical decision is one for which the accepted rules do not provide an answer, and the decision maker must weigh values and reach a judgment as to how to proceed. If a rule exists for handling the situation, for example, employees do not accept gifts from vendors or customers, the course to be followed is clear. Yeah, employees should not accept gifts and from vendors and customers. Is that's a that is what is very good. It's a good rule. Okay, so the question of what to do arises when no stated rules exist. That means if there are no rules in your organization, suppose your organization has set a rule that you should not accept any gifts from your vendors or any customer. There the rules are set and you follow them. But what if the rules are not there? Then of course you should have some values in that case, correct? Some inbuilt values. So in those situations, decision maker must use their own values. That's what they should come to ground zero. They should see what their parents taught them, what their teachers taught them, what elders taught them, what they learned good things from the society, from the people around them, and they should apply that. So mother, father, teacher, or anyone who are your well wishers will never tell you to do anything wrong in your life, correct? They'll always say never do wrong things, and always do good things, and be someone as a role model in the society where people follow you for your good deeds, correct? So that's what everyone. So there the values come into picture. When there are no rules, common sense prevails, but some people they you know they don't act morally, and they do all sorts of malpractices under some pressure, or some kind of targets they have there in life they want to achieve in very short span of time, whatever it is. They involve themselves in malpractices. But any point of time, when good values you have, you'll never do any task which is something which has to be avoided. Okay, so the values here they are speaking about is integrity, fairness, due diligence, and fiduciary responsibility are some of the considerations in making ethical decisions. Integrity is nothing but a recent global survey by Conference Board asked senior management and board chairs to identify leadership attributes. What characteristics, or what kind of attributes, or what qualities a leader should have, okay, and behaviors they considered critical to future success. So what can lead to a future success? If you some qualities if you have, definitely you will be successful in the future. So the top attribute was integrity. What is integrity now? Integrity means honest, being honest and upstanding, and adhering firmly to code of values. That means integrity is nothing but you should be honest, you should be someone who should follow the code of values. That means you should have all the values, good values in you, moral values in you. Okay, so the action of persons or firms that have integrity are consistent with their principles. That means if you're honest enough, never you will change your words, never you will uh, like uh, uh, play cheap tricks or tricks with your customers or your vendors. You will honor your words. You will be the man of words. Okay. So that is what is more important in organization. So people and firms demonstrate consistency by not compromising their core values even under strong pressure. You should not bow down to any pressure in your life. You should be firm with your values. Okay. If I don't work by taking, see, some people also in government jobs, they are placed but they never accept bribe from anyone. So if I will not accept, I will not accept. That is my ethic. That is my ethics. Okay, I will not compromise with quality. That is my ethics. All these things are very important. Now, conflicts of interest, of course, conflicts of interest may arise. So like resolution of this is very important. So conflict of interest are important obstacles to have integrity and ethical decisions. That means when you want to take some decision ethically or ethical decisions, then this comes into picture. That means you may be, according to you, things should be in some way, and according to others, the thing should be in some another way, and there's a conflict. So like how to resolve that and come to a common conclusion is a big, it's a daunting task. So a conflict of interest is any interest, okay, like loyalty, concern, or other feature in a situation that would tend to make a decision maker's independent judgment less reliable in that situation than it normally would be, or that would influence the decision maker to make a decision that may not be in the best interest of those who are relying on that judgment. That means, see what happens. Sometimes we take some decisions based upon someone else's pressure. You are working in a company and you know that some task has to be performed in certain way, which you know is the right way to perform that because you're an expert in doing that task. But your boss or your higher someone in a higher level will tell you, no, you should not do in this way. What I say you should follow. And then what happens? There's a conflict of interest. Then in that case, how will you cope up with that kind of situation? Okay. So in that case, you are working, but under someone's pressure, not based upon your independence. Okay. So a director or manager or employee. So at times it happens now in companies, the shareholders want directors to invest the surplus money in certain like high risk bearing investments whereby they can get high returns, but directors are scared to do that. Why? Because they don't want to take higher risk because that can lead to losses. But the shareholders are adamant that the directors should follow what they say, and directors say what is in your best interest, will do that. So that is nothing but again a conflict of interest. So in that situation, what to do? So a director, manager, or an employee of an organization is expected to make judgments and decisions that are in the best interest of the organization and its shareholders. An accountant is expected to make judgments that are in the public interest. So if the decision maker knows about a conflict of interest, or even if the decision maker should have known about the conflict of interest but does not tell the party on behalf of whom he or she is exercising judgment, the decision maker is perpetrating a deception. That means if there's a conflict of interest and he is doing something in influence of some other person, then it is nothing but deceiving your shareholders. Okay. So it should not happen in that way. So the appearance of a conflict of having a conflict of interest can be harmful to decision makers' reputation. See, if you under pressure take some decision which is not something which is expected from you, and it is known that you would not be taking that one, then and if you still if you take some decision which is not good for the shareholders, which is harmful for the shareholders, then it will harm your reputation. Correct? So any conflict of interest must be recognized and dealt with immediately, whether it is real or apparent, and whether or not there is any potential for harm or whether harm has already occurred. Action must be taken to avoid or manage the harm and to ensure that the actions that are taken are seen as ethically responsible. That means you should always do that which is good for your shareholders, and you are ethically responsible to do that. Okay. So three general approaches to managing conflict of interest are avoidance. Avoidance is the preferred approach if it is possible. A decision maker with a conflict of interest should step aside and let another person make decision known as rescuing himself or herself. That means he should seriously say that I am just quitting from this. I don't want to do, I'm not in this now because I'm not independently able to take the judgment. Or they should disclose this to the shareholders, or they should discuss with the management. Okay. So management of conflict may also be considered if avoidance is not possible, including ensure that employees are aware of so they should disclose that, see, we are getting so and so gifts and so offers from the customer or from clients or someone, and that is what it is pressurizing us to do that. So he should come out with this disclosure, okay, and have a code of conduct and related training for how to handle such situations. Management should see that. Management of the company should like see that, yeah, of course, employees working in the company have a lot of pressure on them, and this pressure is also about to mount on them in the coming future when the employees of the company is in higher position. They may get all these offers, they may people may pressurize them, try to influence their independence. All these things would be there. So in these cases, management should come out with certain rules, that strict rules, and those rules and guidelines should be given to the managers, that and they should follow those rules, so that management itself is stepping into all this, and in future there's no blame game, okay? Because then what happens, the managers at higher levels who are vulnerable to all this are saved from future course of action, or are now their ethics is not compromised, okay? That is what. So there's a question here, please go through this. So, a purchasing manager who has authority to make purchases has a responsibility to exercise judgment and purchase not only the lowest priced item but the item that is of acceptable quality and the best value for price. Of course, someone is having some authority should not compromise with quality at expense of cheaper purchase. So, okay, he should purchase at lowest price, but should not compromise with quality. One of the bidders for an upcoming purchase is the purchasing manager's brother-in-law. See, brother-in-law and all are not a problem. It should be an open tender. Who gives the best quotation? Okay, who is giving the best quotation for the raw material should be considered, whether relative, whether non-relative, it doesn't matter. Okay, but it should be in the best interest of the company. So because of the purchasing manager's family relationship with brother-in-law, the purchasing manager has a conflict of interest, of course. So either he should like avoid, he should say no, I am not into this because my brother-in-law is also a bidder, or else he should say that I'm not accepting anything from my brother-in-law, and it's an open tender, and whoever is giving me the best quote, I'm just going for that. So even if the best value for the purchase with actual credit is offered by the purchase manager, the purchase manager should recuse himself or herself from the decision making process for this particular purchase. Yeah, but as the principles are very clear, conflict of interest is there. In future, things may be in such a way that the brother-in-law can influence the manager by showing the strength of the relationship, okay, that we are strongly related and all this. So he should be definitely be away from this and refrain uh, from maintaining any relationship with his brother-in-law in course of business activities, okay. Fairness. So everyone should be fairly treated. Okay. There shouldn't be any kind of favoritism for someone. No partiality. Okay. And that becomes dishonest act. Okay. So the company's managers or executives should have quality of 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 being fair, just, honest, impartial. Okay, so they should treat everyone with equality. They should reciprocate. Reciprocity refers to an interchange of giving and receiving. It means an action that affects another entity is reciprocated by that other entity with an action that is approximate. So someone does good for us, we should do good. Optimization, they should hire some very good people who are very much capable, but not the ones who are their favorites. Okay, or give promotion to someone who are their favorites or who are listening to them or doing their personal tasks. No, someone who is capable, someone who is the one who is eligible should be given his due, or should be given promotion or should be treated in such a way which he deserves. Due diligence is hard work, also hard work, and also in legal context we say do things with reasonable judgment or with some care. Be careful before taking any decision. That if you want to buy a plot or land or something, you should first do the due diligence. That means you should take the documents and give to a lawyer and take his opinion rather than directly believing the the builder and taking his property. No, due diligence is required. Otherwise, you would be feeling cheated. Like it's like you should be one who should be beware of. A buyer should be beware of the seller's tactics. So due diligence nothing but before doing any task, you should first do a thorough research and put all your efforts into that research and then finally decide. Now, thus the concept of ethical due diligence is an extension of traditional due diligence. Now, ethical due diligence is nothing but we are clubbing ethics with due diligence. So, ethical due diligence is required in many different types of circumstances. A company that is entering into a business combination, partnership, or joint venture needs to ensure that corporate culture and ethical values of the other party will match their own. Of course, when appointing agents and suppliers, they should first do the ground check, background verification, everything for that person before you establishing any business relationship with them. Prior to making a loan, the lender should check the credit worthiness, okay, of the customer. When recruiting employees, the directors and company should ensure individuals have personal values and ethics that are very similar to those of company. And additionally, individuals who are recruited to work at a company should do ethical due diligence on their prospective employers. Yeah, you even before working with someone, some company, suppose if I want to work with Tata, I don't have any problems because I know they have ethical practices and they're very ethical company. So, but before working with some less established brand, you should do the due diligence or background check. As they do a background check for you, you even should do a background check for them. Okay, and understand the organization thoroughly, where you're going to work, the nature of work, etc., and how they treat their employees. Now, fiduciary relationship is nothing but directors and shareholders. These people have fiduciary relationship between them. Directors acts like the agent of shareholders in the company. They work for the shareholders are the owners of the company, but the directors are the ones who are working for the shareholders in the company, because shareholders appoint directors to work in the company on behalf of them, because directors are the ones who are very experienced in running an organization rather than shareholders themselves. Okay, so shareholders are just investors, but the directors are their agents in the company, working for them, working for their betterment. There may be some conflict of interest between shareholders and directors at times, but at the end of the day, things should be resolved and things should move forward. Okay, so accountants and auditors provide fiduciary services to multiple stakeholders and to society, such as suppose you have hired an accountant to do your accounting job, accounting work, or you have assigned some work to them, so they should work like your agent. They should do things in your best interest. Of course, they will give you suggestions regarding how to save taxes and all. It's not like they are doing something bad for the government, but they are your client. You are their client, so they work for your betterment, because they are your agents who are whom you appointed, and they give you fiduciary services, or fiduciary relationship you have between each other. Okay, they cannot work for their own benefit. They should work for your benefit. That's what is fiduciary. So the party paying the accountants or auditors fee or salary. Okay, so accountants and auditors provide fiduciary services to multiple stakeholders and society, such as the party paying, the ones who pay them, they provide the services, current owners and shareholders of the firm, potential future owners and shareholders, employees, government or taxing authorities. So these guys are appointed to work for all these people, lenders and creditors, because somewhere or the other, we have many of these, what we are like seeing the bullet points here, are involved in transactions with the company. So accountants come into picture there. Potential future lenders and creditors, Securities Exchange Commission, public at large. So almost all we have covered everything, and one more thing is auditors should work for the betterment of the shareholders, should prepare the books of account, should audit the statements of the company and give their opinions regarding the audit. And they should whenever things are wrong, or there's a requirement of investigate, they should give a genuine opinion. Of course, the auditors are known for that. Okay, even though they are loyal to company or whatever, they cannot give a they should give a clear picture about the company's situation and the company's position. Fine. And because they do statutory audit for the company, so they are bound to do that legally. Fine. So although professional accountants employed by organizations audit firms have no statutory or contractual duty to shareholders or public, they must exercise honesty, integrity, objectivity, and due care. Yeah, they should. They, before taking any like giving any opinion or something, whatever the task they are performing, they should perform with honesty, integrity, objective, and due care. And there's a note given: the primary duty of professional accountants and auditors is to ensure the accuracy and reliability of their work for the benefit of the public. And it is reasonable, however, for the client or employer to expect a professional accountant or auditor to place the client or employer's interest before the professional's own self-interest. Of course, it's like the client first comes client. Not, we should not think personally. Okay, we should not take. We should not think of personal benefits. We should think for clients' benefits. Legitimate confidences about business problems should be kept. Like, yeah, see, every business has some issues going on inside that company for some or the other reason. Those should be very much confidential, kept very confidential. Client's information should not be shared with any other client or anyone. Okay, that should be that is a norm. Actually, there is nothing like this is something new which you're hearing. It's a norm. So confidentiality should be maintained. And for like if we take services of accounting professional, and they should not misrepresent anything. Fine. About their clients to any other client. Fine. This is what is the end of this chapter. We will start the next chapter tomorrow in the next class, that is IMA Code of Ethics and Fraud Triangle. So I think more 3 sessions I want to wind up this particular ethics chapter unit completely. Okay. Yeah, thank you, and please be please you should prepare for your upcoming test, which is like on Saturday. Already allotted and assigned the syllabus. We'll be like taking the test on that day. Fine.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.